And today, a group of scientists overseas say that world governments should start preparing an action plan just in case Earth is contacted by aliens. They claim that a branch of the UN should be given responsibility for what they call a supra-Earth affairs and come up with a detailed response for if or when the extraterrestrials arrive.
But now the United Nations is getting ready for a contact with aliens from outer space. This is Moslin Othman. She's out of Malaysia. She will be planet Earth's first interstellar diplomat.
An incredible story coming out of the Vatican. Listen to this. The senior Vatican scientist said that he would be delighted if we encountered intelligent aliens and would be happy to baptize them. His pronouncement opens up the possibility of space missionaries heading out to the stars to convert aliens to Christianity.
Did the Vatican find alien life?
You know what? As sensationalistic as that question sounds, it's really not that far off from what we've seen in the news over these last days.
UFO encounters here on Earth.
But that's exactly what firefighters are now training for.
It's the Fire Officer's Guide to Disaster Control and said to be found in firehouses across the U.S. The book covers everything from fires to floods, but it's chapter 13 that takes an unusual twist in firefighting techniques titled Enemy Attack in UFO Potential.
It would not be remiss to give some thought to the part that fire departments might play in the event of the unexpected arrival of UFOs in their communities.
Or is it enough to warrant a UFO education red alert?
This is something that could really happen in our lifetime.
It even asks, how do you treat injured aliens? Are first responders aware of the potential physical injuries?
This is a real phenomena that we should deal with. We should deal with seriously.
Sometime later this year or next year, we expect them to announce, astronomers will announce that we found it, the Holy Grail. I think it's premature for us to announce our presence in outer space until we know their intention.
Now, the report also says that if ETs do come from an Earth-like world, they could resemble us. They might have similar biological molecules. So, hey, that could expand the dating pool. But on the chance that there are aliens out there, which I totally believe there are, I'm going to be with the scientists on this one and say, let's get prepared.
Well, a major announcement today by NASA that a new form of life has been discovered right here on Earth.
Scientists say that they examined all aspects of the search for alien life, from astronomy, biology, to the political and religious fallout that would result from alien contact. And the report also said that evolution on alien worlds is likely to be Darwinian, which may mean that extraterrestrials share our tendencies for violence and exploitation. So basically, when they arrive on Earth, they're probably going to be mean. I'm not kidding. One of the scientists actually said, prepare for the worst.
Now, today, from science fiction to science fear, news buzz among some scientists that if aliens do exist, that they're mostly nasty, resource-consuming locusts that would stop at nothing to take what they want and destroy anyone in their way. If intelligent aliens exist, they will look just like us. And given our far from glorious history, this should give us pause for thought. So are they coming to enslave us all? And does this mean we have to change our definition of ET from extraterrestrial to evil and terrifying?
This is pretty significant. Talk about just how significant this kind of small discovery, but major discovery is.
Well, we think we understand what life is. We think you know it when you see it. Scientists pride themselves on saying, here's a set of 6 elements. You have these 6 elements, and that is life. Well, it turns out, surprise, surprise, they're wrong. And it's looking like, well, hey, there may be other elements that comprise life. Well, that opens the door. That opens the door to say that on other planets, on this planet, there may be life forms that we're just dimly aware of or unaware of.
I believe it was extraterrestrial. I now believe it is interdimensional, the phenomena. In other words, we're looking at so-called spirit beings from another dimension. By equating it to ancient manuscripts where these beings manifested to human beings and what their reactions were, and then comparing it to reactions present day of people who have had encounters, and the similarities are striking.
Well, this announcement came down just a couple hours ago, but for days, the media has been anticipating it and discussing it.
but that also this could be about how NASA has a new way of trying to find extraterrestrial life.
Well, a mysterious NASA press release sparking major attention. They're holding a press conference this time tomorrow afternoon.
So what we're talking about here is
What is that on screen? No astronomer has seen this before. Scientists say they're clueless about what it might be. Back on the screen, what is it?
We don't know. We are stumped. Scientists around the world are saying, what the heck is this object? It doesn't fit any of the profiles of the usual suspects. That's the problem.
The usual suspects are comet, meteor,
stars, galaxies, planets.
How about some sort of alien dealio? You buy into that?
Well, you know, the object is about the size of the Rose Bowl Stadium. So it's too small to be a planet or a star or a galaxy. And it's not a comet. There's no gas in the tail of that comet. It's not a meteor because it's not inside the Earth's atmosphere. So what is it? That's right. A month ago, we spotted this little speck doing all sorts of shenanigans that it shouldn't be doing. The Hubble Space Telescope zooms in on it, and our jaws hit the floor. At that point, we're saying...
Now, it's called the P/2010A2. And you say that's short for...
We are clueless.
I'm Fife Symington. In 1997, during my second term as governor of Arizona, I saw something that defied logic and challenged my reality.
I saw one, but I don't know where it just disappeared.
And the saucer flew right over him and put down 3 little gear and landed out on the dry lake bed.
On Monday, former high-level government employees, military officials, and pilots from all over the world will come together. They'll discuss their own UFO sightings and encounters, and they'll do it at the National Press Club in the nation's capital.
This is when we first saw the UFO. This is when the pilot saw the UFO. This is when the military guy saw the UFO.
Performing speeds and maneuvers significantly in excess of anything that they'd seen military jet aircraft perform.
Physical traces on the ground from the craft were confirmed by the local police.
James Fox helped organize today's UFO-related event in Washington. He directed the film Out of the Blue.
The official position from the Air Force is that they terminated Project Blue Book in 1969, and there have been no official investigations since then.
We have not been hiding anything.
They are simply following orders.
Don't rock the boat. Play it down. Cool it.
And I have no reason to believe that they're real.
Thousands of witnesses now, which can confirm that indeed they saw activities which cannot be related to terrestrial activities.
It's not going to be, as I say, disclosure with a big D. Right. It's going to be disclosure with a small d.
If the government's announced, well, the unidentified objects are real, people would panic?
I cannot say yes, but I cannot say no.
Why do you think the Air Force doesn't want this out?
I wish they would. If the Air Force is listening tonight, why don't you tell us the truth?
There are people who said they saw things, and whenever that happens, they deserve at least an investigation, it seems to me.
I think it's time to open the books. It's time to find out what the truth really is that's out there.
It went at a 45-degree angle away.
We ought to do it really because it's right.
My response was we could land all 40 of our B-2 bombers on the wing of that craft.
We ought to do it because the American people, quite frankly, can handle the truth.
I know what I saw, and I get very upset, and I was wondering why they won't find out what it was.
And we ought to do it because it's the law.
This is a serious question. The godmother of your daughter, Shirley MacLaine, writes in her new book that you sighted a UFO over her home in Washington State, that you found the encounter extremely moving, that it was a triangular craft, silent and hovering, that you felt a connection to your heart and heard directions in your mind. Now, did you see a UFO?
I did, and the rest of the account, it was unidentified flying object, okay? It's unidentified. I saw something. Now, to answer your question, I'm moving and I'm also going to move my campaign office to Roswell, New Mexico, and another one in Exeter, New Hampshire, okay? And also, you have to keep in mind that Jimmy Carter saw a UFO, and also that more people in this country have seen UFOs and I think approve of George Bush's presidency.
Actually,
and so, wait, we're just getting started here.
No. We have about 14% of Americans say they have seen UFOs. I'm going to move.
What was the percentage?
14%.
What was that percentage?
14.
Thank you.